Hi everyone. I think I'm a little crooked, but we're just gonna go with it because I'm dealing with a new setup. So I finally got my bookshelf out here in the living room and I've got my books on it. So I thought I'd try to do a setup, and then my camera is on a tripod on a stack of books on a very rickety table. So I'm totally professional here, very professional. But I wanted to film a video and we're gonna just give it our best go. So I have been seeing a lot of people talking about their personal curriculum. I'm not exactly sure who started it. Probably started with TikTok, but I've been seeing people talk about their personal curriculum for a few months, and I feel like it started with like return to school, which makes sense. But I kind of did that, not the exact same thing, but I've been kind of doing a personal curriculum fairly recently. So I thought I'd talk about it and what I'm doing. It's not anything super complicated. I haven't made a schedule or anything like that, but I'm just doing a simple, like trying to get into American history. So one of the things that I regret quite often is that when I did my undergraduate degree, I did not do a history degree. I did music. I have a bachelor's in music, which what I would have probably done is done a bachelor of music and a bachelor in history. I would have had to add it on and do it as like a double major, because by the time I realized like I really wanted to do that, I was so far into the bachelor of music, and I love my music degree. I love studying music. I worked in the arts for a few years after graduating and hoped to be a music librarian one day, which did not work out. But one of the things I am sad that I didn't do a history degree, because I would love to go on and do further study in history. I had dreams of going to the UK and studying there. I was accepted into a Scottish Heritage program a few years ago, and unfortunately it was financially not possible to do it. But I was looking forward to studying Scottish Heritage Management and was hoping to then go on and do another degree in history and doing like the research side of it. But I ultimately wanted to study more history and then hopefully work in the heritage sector over there for a while. But it didn't work out that way. So this year I spent a month in the UK in the summer, and I've been studying British history and Scottish history especially for so many years now. And when I got back, I was thinking like, I got this just feeling I wanted to get back into American history and really get a better sense of the history of the United States, but the history of this, my side of the world, more than I had been recently. And I've read quite a bit in the past. I worked in a library when I was in Boston that was an archive as well. So I got a lot of New England history while I was there and read a lot of New England history, both for that job and just out of personal interest. I have part of my family are New Englanders. I'm about a quarter New Englander and 3/4 Southern from Florida. And so I did have an interest in that as well and read quite a bit on that topic. But I felt like I didn't have a good academic base that I would have gotten if I had done my undergraduate study in history. So all I did was, for my personal curriculum, I haven't made a schedule. Like I said, I haven't made coursework for myself. That seems like I would love to do that. I would actually love to just go take classes right now, have a schedule, be a student. But right now with working full time, basically all I did was I went to the internet. I found a reading list for graduate American history from a university, and I printed up a list. I didn't print the whole list because it's like 30 pages or something. So I just have like the first 3 that I've been working through. And yes, 30 pages worth of reading with this many books on it would take me years to get through. So I don't think that's really feasible. But what I've been doing is kind of picking through and getting the books that I can get access to through my library and reading through those. So far, some of the books I've read are kind of overviews of Atlantic history, early American history. They are Bernard Bailyn's Atlantic History, Concept and Contours, Daniel Richter's Before the Revolution, America's Ancient Pasts, and a little bit of Borderlands history in James Brooks's Captives and Cousins, Slavery, Kinship, and Community in the Southwest Borderlands. So, like I said, I've hopped around a little bit, and now I am reading. I just started In Search of Empire, the French in the Americas, 1670 to 1730. So I really just started this one, getting into the French colonial history of the Americas. So I've kept it simple. After I read this one, I will probably skip on to some later and later history, just skip around and try not to get bogged down too much in one area. I'm doing this just, like I said, to get a good grounding, some knowledge that I don't already have in American history. And I'm going to be honest, with some of the books that I've been reading so far, I haven't got far into this one, but getting into this kind of reading, I just can't absorb everything. I can take some things from it and build on my knowledge and have that in the back of my head. I was doing actually an online quiz the other day, and I knew the answer was the Warb Jenkins ear. So I've read about that in, I think 2 of the 3 books I've read so far. And so I'm getting enough knowledge to do online quizzes, but it's more that I'm trying to just absorb what I can, learn what I can, to feel like I have a better grasp of my own history of this region. And also it's just like a lot of fun to read this stuff. Lately, I know I've tried to participate in Historathon before, and I've talked a little bit about other books I read, but I really, really, really enjoy just sitting down and reading a history book. Yesterday, I read quite a few pages and just sat down and really enjoyed reading it. And I may not remember but a fraction of what I read right now because there's just so much information that I'm trying to absorb, but I'm enjoying just the reading as I would say a mystery novel or a romance novel. I'm enjoying it just as much as I do those. It's just it's a little bit slower, and I remember probably less, though I don't really remember tons when I finish my mysteries and my romances as well. Like that stuff often I think just goes out of my head. But yeah, I'm just really loving reading this kind of stuff right now. And I'm really excited that everybody's doing sort of these personal curriculums and trying to fill in the gaps of their knowledge like I am. That's because I really understand that. I feel the same way, that I always want to know more and feel better informed. And this is helping me do that, where I've got a greater well of knowledge to draw from. And it's just super fun to do it. I know it would sound weird to anyone who's like, I don't like history, I'm not into history, that it would be fun to read history books, but I really do find it fun and interesting and enriching. So that is what I'm just doing, is I'm just taking somebody else's book list and I'm working through it, seeing what I can learn and enjoying it immensely along the way. So if you're doing a personal curriculum, I'd love to hear in the comments kind of what you're trying to learn right now, what your big interest is, or if you're interested in doing it in the future, what you would choose. But yeah, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I'm not too crooked for you and driving you crazy with the angle of this. But I'll see you next time anyway, if you feel like tuning in to the next one. Thanks so much for watching.